I'm Davitson. Welcome to an episode of A Better Understanding. Today we have a special guest, a master barber, owner of Culture Creative Studio, founder of Motivated Culture, and your neighborhood motivator.
Yes.
Welcome, Al-Fatir.
Mm, yeah. Thank you for having me, bro. You already know I'm happy to be here. Especially because we talked about this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How was your drive up here?
oh, it was good. It was good. We had a smooth ride actually, which was crazy because we left a little early anticipating traffic. 84 is crazy.
Oh yeah.
But yo,
I was gonna tell you there's always traffic around this area.
we didn't hit any.
None.
We coasted.
You probably just missed it.
I mean, I don't know how. It was like 6 o'clock. You
Oh
know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, like it was. Yeah, we literally coasted. It was a smooth ride. We got here, and even with time to grab a bite to eat. So yeah, here we are.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask? I didn't think about it. I was like, how did we meet?
Oof.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Through people?
I don't
School?
remember. I don't remember. I think school. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
school, right?
Yeah, school.
Maybe
school.
we ran into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Yeah.
My older brother?
Your older brother. Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, me
I
and
didn't even
him
think
used-
about that.
Me
Yeah.
and him used to rock back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's just Danbury, man. Danbury is everybody know everybody.
So if people don't know, like Al-Fatir, he used to rap back in the days, and that's how I knew Al-Fatir as Nasty Nut, right?
Yeah, Nasty Nut.
You had
yeah.
your mixtapes back in the day. If you want to explain, like, how'd you get into rapping back in the days?
Well, yeah, I mean, originally it was Nasty Nut that transitioned into me using my real name, Al-Fatir. But how it started, I was just writing. I was writing, and I needed a place to record. And one day I went down to New York Music Connection. And if you from Danbury, then
Oh, wow.
which
I
is
forgot about
back
that,
in
yeah.
the day. It's where the police
Back
station
in the
is
days,
now.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I forget.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I forget the barbershop that was next door, but it was Marcos and all those dudes was next door.
Oh, dang, you brought up Marcos.
Yeah, at the
That's crazy,
barbershop.
yeah.
If you really from Danbury, you remember Marcos.
Yeah.
But New York Music Connection was next door, and there was this dude, Paul Brown, and we had hit it off. He was rapping too. He called himself Pain, and we had hit it off just talking about music. I was going down there to buy mixtapes, and I was copping a lot of instrumental CDs.
How old were you at the time?
Oof, man, I had to be like 15.
15. I was gonna say like a little
I
kid,
was like,
right?
I was like 15.
15. That's crazy.
Because at the time I was rapping with a group called Mafioso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I was kind of branching off and doing my own thing, and I was going down to the spot. I needed instrumental CDs.
Oh yeah.
So he kept seeing me come in, and he's like, "Oh, yo, are you, you recording?" Da 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 da. And I was like, "Oh, I got a little setup
Yeah.
in my house, And me, AB, Ant Brown, and my boy Neil Tagliavento, we were in the room recording, but we didn't really know what we was doing like that. And then
Wait, what do you mean recording? Like you had like stuff written down before or no?
yeah, I was already writing. We were
wow.
already recording, but
So
you
you were in, like you
yeah,
were
we
writing
was
before.
in it. You know what I mean? But so he was like, "Yo, I got a setup upstairs in the back," and he was like, you can record here." So then it turned into that. Next thing you know, we got mixtapes. And
Wait, what do you mean like record? Like you had to pay for it at the time, or you
Nah.
just started recording?
Nah, the thing was, he really rocked with me, bro.
Oh wow.
Like he really rocked with me, and then he heard me, and he was just like, "Yo, like, oh, I think this kid's nice. Like, he might be something."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, and I'm recording. I'm recording over there, and then we dropping mixtapes, and I was still in high school. You know what I mean, at the time. So
Yeah.
like next thing you know when you in high school and you like the first nigga rapping and shit, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
my little buzz was strong. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like niggas was
Like, that's
rocking.
Al-Fatir right there. Or Nasty Nut.
Nasty Nut at that time.
That's
yeah.
Nasty Nut right there.
Yeah, so it was funny, but that's how I got started with it. That's how I got started with it.
Okay, you were like a little celebrity over there.
Yeah, a little something, but it was funny, man. When I look back on it now, you know what I mean? It's like, you miss being a kid.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I was looking at like the music you were pushing out. You had a little like buzz going on. You had tracks you did with like jazz, right? Hometown.
Yeah, hometown. Yeah,
Hometown was big for the hometown.
it was huge. I was actually like, I still bumping to people to this day, bro. I had stopped down to go
Yeah.
get something to eat, at Black Angus and Danbury, the restaurant.
Yeah.
And you know, I bumped into this dude. He knew me. I didn't.
Cool.
I don't know. I don't even know his name. But
Oh, it was somebody that knew you from.
he knew me from the music.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know, and it's crazy because I'm so far removed.
So you're like a low key a celebrity.
Yo, I don't want to say I'm a celebrity. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You're like Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, I've always hated that shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I've never. For me, it was never about that. You know what I mean? Like I genuinely loved making the music, and you know what I mean. It was like.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, it was never about that for me. Like if it was really about that, like I probably could have took it even further.
Yeah.
But it was never really about that for me, man. You know, but yeah, he like knew me, spotted me. He's like, oh yeah, I know you. I was just listening to Hometown.
That's dope though.
Bro,
yeah.
this is a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? That song came out in
Oh shoot.
2011 type shit. You know, so it's crazy to see the effect that song.
But not
really
even
had.
that. That's like the power of like just putting yourself out there, right?
Exactly.
Because nobody knows until you put yourself out there and you're like, oh shoot, people like me, like what I do.
Yeah, which
Right?
I think, you know,
Which is dope, yeah.
yeah, a lot of people, and a lot of people, it's hard for people to do. You know what I mean?
You had some tracks with that you did for like the beats over at Clams Casino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? When I listened to those tracks, I was like, oh shoot, I was like, the songs you did was better than the songs that Clams Casino did with people.
Yeah, with the other artists. It's it's crazy because
what was that track? The planes you like on the fence?
Yo, I literally was just
that's my favorite track. I forgot the name of it.
It's called "I Want It All."
I want it all. Through the fire, yeah.
That's one of my
That
favorite
track
songs
was
I ever
crazy.
did, bro. That's one of my favorite songs I ever did. That
Yo,
one,
I ain't gonna lie. I went through your comments. I was like, I think that was like one of your top tracks.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's got like 30,000, 40,000 views on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that track was crazy.
yeah, and then the other one was "Free Living," which I was actually just listening to this morning. I was just listening to it this morning on my way to the gym, and I was just like, yo, you know, we shot a music video for that one too.
Yeah.
In the city. And it just brought me back. I was just like, wow, I don't listen to this stuff enough, yo.
You ever thought about like getting back into it?
Yo, it's so funny.
I know you used to put in a grind. Remember, we've been to your studio too. You and JJ, right?
Yeah.
Who was it? You, JJ, and you guys had that studio?
It was me and JJ who were the proprietors. But we had Devang down there. And he was like the techie guy.
And you guys had a good price for that studio.
Oh, I mean, back then, yeah, like if we would have known, if we would have been getting that price,
He would have
today,
took advantage. Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's crazy.
Yo, we didn't even know.
Yeah.
We money's different now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it is what you spend and all that type of stuff, what
Yeah.
you make. But at that time, we thought we was getting banged in the head. You know what I mean? We was paying like $600 a month. We thinking we getting raped. You know what I mean?
You think raped, and that's
yeah.
like the best price.
The best price ever. Dog. If I could get it back right now, I'll get it
You'll
back.
take it, yeah.
all day.
Y'all
all
had
day.
what? How many rooms is it again?
It was one. So it was like
Studio room?
Yeah,
Where
you
you
first the
recorded?
walk-in room, and then we had JJ's the production room. Then we had the engineering room, and then we had the booth. You know what I'm saying? And then we used to make everybody sign the wall. So we had names.
I signed the wall too. I remember that.
Yeah, you signed the wall. Yeah, we had everybody sign the wall. That wall was full with tags, bro. You know what I mean? We had hundreds.
How do you
of people
take the
going
wall
there.
with you though?
We didn't. We didn't. Yeah.
So what'd you do? Just take a picture and
Yeah, it's
let it
somewhere.
go?
Yeah, I got a picture of it somewhere.
you gotta let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to let it go. I couldn't take the wall with me. You know what I mean?
Oh shoot, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but it was epic though.
So now you're like into like barber. Like how does that go? How did you shift to that?
Well, yeah, I mean when, the music thing was kind of coming to an end, and I was kind of just going through life, you know what I mean? Like literally like trying to figure out what I was going to do next.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
actually like make money from it.
Yeah, and
too.
actually make money from it because, even at that time, like I felt like the music like winding down in me. You know what I mean? Like we were in that studio for 6 years. I didn't work a single day. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. I was out here running around making.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was making ends meet the best I could.
I
You
know
know
what
what I'm
you
saying? And like, yeah, really grinding. It was pounding the pavement, hitting the streets, and we would take that money from the street and put it back into the studio. And so but towards the end, we gave it everything. You know what I mean? And like, 50, 60, 70 grand later. You know what I mean?
Oh shoot!
Yeah, like
that crazy?
Yeah, we had dumped a lot of money into it. But at that time, you had to pay for World Star. You know what I mean?
Oh,
To get on
yeah.
World Star was like $2.
I remember seeing you on Warstar too.
Yeah, get on that piff. It was like
Yo,
$700.
your Warstar views was high. I remember that.
Oh, it was crazy.
That's where I
They're
seen
still
the
up there,
track,
too.
right?
Yeah, they're still up there.
What was it called?
I Want It All. We had our
Yeah, that
and
was
Free
on
Living.
Worldstar, I
Yeah, we had
remember
them
that.
both on Worldstar. And but yeah, you know, back then, at that time, you know, when we was moving and shaking, like now you could get on these things like nothing. But at that time, to get on that Piff and Worldstar and
Everything was money back
to
in the
get on
days.
the blogs was huge back then. You know,
Yeah.
Pigeons and Planes and you know all those different joints, audio, whatever it was, and you know you had
Yeah.
to pay for those things. And yeah, bro, you know they tapped our pockets. You know what I mean? They definitely did.
Yeah.
So you
And
know,
nowadays it's like everything's social media.
oh my God, so much easier.
Way easier.
Like we were at the beginning of social media. I remember when, you know, Instagram dropped. That was like 2012. We were already 2 years into the studio. You know what I mean?
Oh shoot, yeah.
Like yeah. So you know now, you know, man, if it was this time, then like, our whole everything would have been different because we dumped a lot of money into it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you know, towards the end, I was like, yeah, you know, I gotta find something else. You know, what is it gonna be? And I had this homegirl who was doing hair. And
Okay.
yeah, she was doing hair. She had already been in the game, and she was just like, "Yo, you know, you're artistic. You know, you're meticulous. Like you know, I think you could, you know, do hair. Like you should look into doing
Wait,
hair."
this was before you were cutting hair.
This was before I was cut. This was at the end
Wait,
of
she seen it before you were cutting hair?
bro. She
How the hell? Who was this?
yeah. This is man. She's
Whatever. She seen the future.
she's long gone.
She was
But
cutting your
yeah,
hair, though.
yeah. Nah, she was good people though.
That's
And it's like
crazy.
she was a big supporter of mine. You know what I'm saying? And me and her rocked. And yeah, I was just like, yo, I need something else. I gotta find the next thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she was just like, yeah, I think you could be, you know, a good barber, a good stylist. I think you could do that. And so, you know,
Without even you knowing your talents.
without even me knowing it, bro, you know, she saw the vision.
No, I feel
You
like
know,
people
shout to
like
her.
that are like dope because they see something in you that you don't even see in yourself.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that was the thing. Even when I
Yeah.
look back on it now, like, cause I've
Like, how
told
the
this to
hell?
multiple people,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And like, they're always like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe you started cutting because somebody said that you would be good at cutting. Like, you
Like,
didn't even have the
who
thought
guesses that?
yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? And so, yeah, but yeah,
Especially not even knowing you could cut because not everybody could cut hair.
yeah. And then I set up, she was like, oh, yeah, there's a school over in Newtown. And so I looked it up and I set up a little walkthrough. And when I walked through, I was like, this is the place. This is my next move. This is where I'm supposed to be.
That's crazy. Who was the first person you cut? Your brother?
Nah, the first person I cut, man, I think it was my pops.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I think it was my pops.
You know what? I worked with your dad and your brother before, right?
Yeah, over at
Siemens.
Siemens, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Your brother's a big Lakers fan.
Yeah, I worked at Siemens a couple times. I worked in the cafeteria doing the register in the cash.
You're
in the
right.
cafeteria.
I
Yeah.
forgot you were working
Yeah,
there.
I worked in there a couple times.
And I was there when you were working there.
Yeah, you
I
were there.
forgot. What the hell?
I worked in there a couple times, bro, just to kind of get some cash real quick. You know what I mean?
So
But
you cut your dad's hair and what you
at the
it came
school.
out.
At the school, it
It
came out
didn't come out
solid.
bad, right?
No. It didn't come out bad at all. Yo, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yo, I was never bad. Like,
Oh shoot.
yeah, I was never
You
bad.
just started and you were good from the start.
You know,
Not good, but you were okay.
you know, I just,
Yeah.
I'm naturally artistic. I always tell people, yo, if you could draw or you could paint or, you know, you can do anything like that, like you could cut hair. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's really like making a fade is just erasing lines. You make a line, you erase a line. You
You
make a
erase it,
line, you
yeah.
erase a line. You know what I mean? And then it gradually starts to blend. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like, you know, when you're on a computer Photoshop and you choose gradient. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna make that natural like kind of fade. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more or less what it's like. So
That's crazy. You understand all of that too.
yeah, I mean, but that's how I see it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
In my eyes, in my mind, when I'm like, you know, before I even if you sat in my chair right now, and you're like, oh, I want this type of cut. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna brush your hair out. I'm gonna look at it. You know, and I see it before I even do it. You know what I mean?
So you started at Dave's Barbershop. Is it Dave's?
Dave's, yo, it's crazy because actually that wasn't the first place I started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Explain, go ahead.
I actually started like fresh out of school. I got like there was a shop called Stewart's in Bethel, and they were looking for a barber. And you
You're
know,
like, why not?
it's crazy because at first Dave had told me off rip. He was like, "Yo, you know, you could come to the shop as soon as you out of school." But it
Well,
was-
you knew Dave before that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, me and Dave went to school together, so I knew Dave for years. You know,
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah. So
You know, I knew Dave before he was like kind of cutting hair.
I mean, y'all Y'all was around the way.
We lived in the same
Y'all
projects.
lived in the same projects.
And
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I used to get a haircut by this
Eden
dude.
Drive. Y'all was over there in Eden Drive.
EDP.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So this dude named Sam used to cut my hair, and Dave was like, "Yo, let me cut your hair." We used to be like, "Dave, what the hell?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Yo, I'll cut your hair for free."
Uh-huh.
He started cutting her hair, and I was like, "Oh shoot,
Nah,
Dave is pretty good."
Dave a legend, bro.
No, but
Dave a legend.
this is before Dave was cutting hair.
That's
He was
what I'm
like,
saying.
"Yo, let me cut your hair," and then all of a sudden, Dave became the guy.
Like, think about it. Dave's still a young dude, and he been cutting like 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Dave a legend.
But in the projects, he was offering to cut her hair. Like, "Yo,
as you should.
I could cut your hair. Like, I'm good."
Mm-hmm.
This is before I used to go to somebody else, and Dave was like, "Yo, I want to cut your hair." We used to cut our hair outside EDP, Eden Drive.
It's crazy how things come together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
when you seen him from the beginning, like,
So
and
you
to
were
see where
saying
he's at now.
before Dave, right? You were over here.
Yeah, so I was at Stewart's. So I was because Dave was like, yo, you could come to the shop, but it was a big shop.
Yeah,
it was 13 chairs in there, and I'm fresh out of school. I'm like,
They
yo,
had 13 chairs.
they have 13 chairs.
That's a
now.
lot of chairs.
Yeah, Dave getting money. Bro.
Usually people that got a barbershop is like, I got 6 chairs or I got like 5 chairs left.
Yeah,
13 chairs.
Yo, I mean, if you can bring people through the doors,
That's crazy.
yeah. But so it felt to me, it was a little overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Right out the gate. So I was like, boom. There was this guy over at
For Dave or
for me, it was overwhelming. For me, it was
to go what
to
Dave
go to a
hitting you
shop
up?
that big. Nah, to
Okay,
go to
yeah.
a shop that big right out of school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Like I was used to cutting in a room with 2 other people. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then now I'm in this. It would have been a space huge, but so the other
That's where the
dude,
money's at.
the other guy only had like 5 chairs in his spot. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is more or less like where I want to start.
Okay.
And yeah, a dude named Evan, good dude. He owns Stewart's in Bethel. I think he moved on now. He's in like Bloomfield or something like that. He opened up a shop up there.
That's dope though. He let you in.
Yeah, but he let me in. And so I started out there, and I was only there 6 months. And then I felt like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm cooking. Yeah, 6 months. I was like, yeah, I'm cooking.
6 months. That's
It.
crazy.
I was like, yeah, I'm cooking. So I called Dave, and I was like, yo, I'm ready.
It's time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. So me and Dave met at Starbucks on Newtown Road, across from Dave's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking
Where
about.
he's at now on Newtown Road. We met at Starbucks. You know, he had a little contract that you had to sign. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I signed a little contract.
Oh, I didn't know you have to sign a contract to be with Dave.
Most barbers do. Most, like, if you're a true businessman barber, yeah, you're gonna have somebody sign a contract.
I didn't know you had to sign contracts to be in a barber.
Yeah.
I thought you just got hired and you were inside.
Well, you usually put a deposit on your chair. You know what I mean? It's almost like putting a deposit on an apartment because you're renting that chair.
You know what's so crazy you're saying that? I never knew that.
Yeah.
I thought you just went to the barber shop and you paid for the chair after.
No. So I put a deposit on my chair. You know what I mean? And then you know, like I said, it's like rent for an apartment.
Yeah.
But also usually a contract states that if you were to leave that shop,
Yeah.
that you can't open a shop within a certain amount of miles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shoot, that's crazy.
Yeah, Yo, listen, the hair world is cutthroat, bro.
Yo,
Let me
I
tell
did
you
not know
something.
that.
Yeah, nah, it's real. It's cutthroat. You know what I mean? But
What do
yeah.
you feel about? I see like barbers that like they go to like certain they work at certain places and then they feel like they're paying too much for the chair and they go to the next barber.
You know, I always felt like, listen, man.
How does that work?
For me personally, I know people who have left like a shop like Dave's because like, oh, they felt like the chair was too much.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you want to, usually the people who are charging the most for their chairs, that's the best spot for you to be in. That's why they're able to charge for that chair like
For
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So why would you go somewhere else now that's lesser than that? You know what I mean? So like for me, the only spot was Dave's. You know what I mean? It was
For
the only spot.
for Dave's, it was appointment only. How does that work?
No, so you could also do by commission. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he still does commission. So
Yeah.
commission is usually where like you usually split it like 50-50 with the shop owner and they help you get clientele. Now see, if you already have a clientele built, you know what I'm saying, you don't need commission. You're just gonna rent the chair.
Yeah.
I rented the chair right out the gate. I didn't want to do commission. Even if I knew it meant less money for the time being, but
Oh, so you got to pick and choose?
nah, yeah, I mean, you could choose, yeah. So I could have took commission, but for me, like I said, man, listen.
Oh shoot, that worked
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
used to getting to it. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna get clientele regardless. Like I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it shake.
So, what made you start your barber now culture creative studio?
So well, I was at Dave's, for 7.5 years, and I had built my clientele crazy.
I felt like you were like a loyal
Oh yeah,
employee in general.
yeah.
When I seen you leave, I'm like, Al-Fatir leaving? That's crazy.
I started at the last chair, bro.
Because when everybody left, like for
Legends,
you were still there.
Yeah, I was still there.
But then when you did your own thing, I said, "Oh shoot, it's his calling. He's doing his own thing."
Well, so you know how the Legends thing was. I had talked to Pat about potentially going with them. You know what I'm saying? 2 Legends.
Yeah.
But my whole mindset was, listen, I started in the back chair, the very last chair on the right hand side.
Oh, were you?
Yep. And then I moved up a chair, and then I moved up another chair slowly. I was inching up, right? And so when, you know, I talked to Pat and we were chatting, you know, Pat's my man, you know what I mean? I did really want to go with them, you know what I mean? Because I just loved working with those dudes, you know what I mean? But
that was like your crew right there.
Yeah, bro. Yo, when it was us at Dave's, bro, me, Dave, Pat, Dre, Caesar, Vic, like, yo, bro, it was a dream team.
That was
bro.
a crew,
Yo, it was crazy. And we had a blast. But when Pat was like, all right, well, I'm opening a shop with Dre.
Yeah.
Vic and Caesar are going with me. I'm like, why would I leave? Because your chair is about to be open and you got the first chair. So if you slide out of here, I'm going to take that first chair.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
So it benefited me to stay. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's how you got to play it. You know, that's how you got to play this shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, when you hear people say you got to play the game, and that's why I try to explain to people all the time when people be like, oh, what do you mean by a game? Life's not a game. Yes, it is a game.
Yeah.
In every way possible.
I don't think people get it.
They don't
Sometimes you just feel it inside, right?
Yeah. That's why when people say like, oh, you hear people say, oh, you got to play chess. You know what I'm saying? You got to play chess with this life
chess,
shit.
not checkers.
Yeah, it's chess, not checkers.
Because if it was checkers, you would have left over there.
Yeah. I could have jumped over. I could have jumped over there. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was like, nah, let me pivot real quick. I see what's about to happen here. So, you know, I got the first chair, and then, you know, I was there for 7.5 years. I had the front chair. You know, I got my clientele up. I never used the app that they used at Dave's. I always used my own app. I always built through my Instagram, you know, because I knew always that my next move would be, you know, owning my own shit.
Wait, so how'd you do it? How'd you people booked you?
I had my own app. I was using my own app.
Like a whole separate app?
A whole separate app.
Oh, shoot.
Man, So we were all using Vigaro at one point in time. I still use Vigaro to this day. But we were all using Vigaro, and then they switched over to another app called Squire. And when they switched over, I kept it at Vigaro. You know what I mean? And I just kept building my clientele through that. So when it was time to make the move, my clientele was my clientele. You know what I mean? Like I never, like I told you, I never took
at the end of
commission.
the day, respected Dave though.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Respected Dave. You know what I mean? And for even giving me the space to be able to, you know,
the
create,
opportunity
the opportunity and the space to create what I created. And I just took that, and I was like, all right, you know, it's my time. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So getting a place, what made you get the place? Was there like an opportunity that somebody was like, "Oh, I got a space for you"?
That's exactly what it was.
Oh no, for real?
Yeah. So my tattoo guy, Richie Nigro.
Like it was like meant to happen.
Exactly. Shout out to my guy Richie. I was over there getting a tattoo one day, and he was like, "Yo, I'm about to open a big shop in New Milford." He was like, "But I love this little space right here, which is on North Street where my shop is now." And it's crazy because I couldn't see the vision at first because he had it painted all dark, and he had art all over the place and shit draping over the windows, and it was like a little dungeon. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I could, you know, move in.
Wait, this is the vision, or you seen it?
Nah, that's how he had it. You know what I mean? Like he had it all dark, and like I couldn't really see. I was in there getting tatted. I'm like, you know, maybe I could do something.
Yeah.
He was like, you ever thought about having your own space? And so I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And he was like, well, listen, you know, the rent here is cheap. You know, you should just grind, do your own thing.
Yeah.
So I thought about it, and you know, I talked to a couple of people. I always ask my pops first. You know what I mean? So I asked him. I was like, "Yo, what you think about this?" And he was like, "Sounds like a good idea, but you know, you're good at days, but you know, eventually you got to do your own thing." And you know, so then I asked a couple more people what they thought, people that I trust and love, and people who love me, and they were just like, "Bro, you was always meant to do your own thing."
No, for real. Yeah.
Like you know, that's who you are.
And now you have somebody working for you. Right?
Yeah. Now I got somebody. She don't work for me, but she.
So what
with
does
me.
that count as?
She with me. You know what I'm saying?
She's
like,
with you.
Yeah, she with me, man. Like, we used to be at Dave's together. Shout out to Brittany, Brazen Phase.
Shout out Brittany.
Yeah, you know. I love her to death. You know, she's really one of my people.
Cause
Like,
she braids hair too.
yeah, she braids hair too. She braids it. She cut hair. She could do it all. Brittany,
Yeah, she does it all.
She a Swiss Army knife, bro. Like for real. She
You
could
thought
do it all.
about bringing like other people after Brittany?
No, I never even thought about bringing Brittany.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
so what'd you do? You had one setup?
well, she was at another space. She had her own space that she was working out of, and then that space was ultimately not gonna be there anymore. So she was like, "Yo, I'm looking for a space to be able to do my thing." You know, da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I know you like being alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? At that time too, you know, I was going through something in life, and I just felt like that.
You or Brittany?
I
right?
was going through something in life. I
Yeah.
mean, she was being taken out of her workspace, but I was going through something in life, and I just felt like the call came at the perfect time when she hit me up, and I was just like, you know what?
It was meant to
Let me
happen.
bring Brittany in here. Yeah, this is God talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, yo,
yeah.
you know, you need some love around you, and yeah, she came in, and we've been rocking ever since. That was February. You know what I mean? And yeah, we, like I said, we used to work at Dave's together, and now we're over here together, and you know, that's a lifelong thing for me and her. Like, you know,
Yeah, Brittany nice.
she ain't going nowhere unless I say she going somewhere.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's my dog, bro, for real. You know.
So getting to motivated culture, what made you want to start that? You started like a social media?
Yeah, well, that's a long story. I mean,
So how'd you start it? Like you wanted to do it for yourself? Like
well, you know,
How did
so it was maybe like 2018, 2019. This was
this goes way back.
this goes way back. You know what I'm saying? So
Like motivated culture in general.
yeah. So motivated culture was something before I even knew it was something.
Oh wow.
You know, so like, yeah, again, you know, back in like 2017, I went through something, and you know, it changed me like as a human being. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, it just changed me. I became somebody else, and I started to really like hone in on what, you know, I thought my purpose was like on this
Like
earth.
almost like somebody like outside your body that was telling you like
It,
you
it,
should do this.
it was just me telling myself, bro, like I was looking inward finally, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Not seeing things from the outside, you know what I mean? But when you go through a life-changing experience, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you start looking like at yourself, like at your core, you know what I'm saying? And wondering like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and that's what, you know, started to trigger me being like, you know, I was like, all right, let me project, you know, the type of person I really am, you know what I mean, at my core. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like an inspirational person, a motivational person, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Somebody who has a ton of energy. And you know, people kept telling me, like, yo, you mad inspirational, you mad motivational, da 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 da. And then the pandemic hit.
Oh, so it was the right time.
Yeah, so I was already putting out like little content here and there, and then the pandemic came, and I was like, "This is August 2020,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? We in the crib, you know, I'm about to just start like a little Instagram page and start posting, you know, motivational quotes and stuff, and you know, at those,
It takes a lot though, because some
yeah,
people like get in front of the camera, like
yeah,
speaking what you gotta speak.
mm-hmm.
Like, do you have it like prepped or you just
No,
go?
I'm always off the whim.
Oh, so
Yeah,
everything you do is like what you feel.
is what I feel exactly in that moment.
But not even that, you do what you feel in like the crowd, they feel what you feel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, yo, and that's the thing, you know, about what I
Like you're
do.
doing it for the people, not just for yourself.
Exactly.
But
But
you're kind of pushing it out.
well, I feel like the reason. So even if you're not gonna feel it,
You
that
gotta
means
feel it.
that. But if you don't feel it, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna make.
I
Or,
feel like they're gonna feel it regardless.
and I hope they do, and
They
I hope
do.
they do. But I think that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to resonate with every single person. You just not.
You don't.
Yeah, and I don't care.
And that's what you learn in life, right?
Exactly.
In general. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care. I don't make it for every single person. But you know what? Somebody needs to hear it in that moment.
Yeah.
And then you know what? The next piece of content might be for you.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? But
You know, half the time I hear your content, I'm like, damn, you got me hyped like Ray Lewis. I'm about to run through the wall. Like your energy is like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he got
Nah,
me.
'cause-
I'm about to run through the wall.
nah, that's how I be feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be feeling.
Yeah.
Like, yo, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not even projecting like, you know, 70% of it. You
Oh,
feel me?
shoot.
Like, yeah, like if I really wanted to, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not that I'm holding back, but I'm intense. Like I can be really intense,
Yeah.
you know, and I know that, you know what I mean? I'm loud, I'm intense, I'm, you know, and all those things. So, you know, I just kind of try and like refine it. You know what I mean?
What about people that want to be like you? Like they want to feel like they want to put stuff out there, but they're scared to put it out there. Like what's the best thing? What's a good tip for people that like are scared to put content out there?
You know what the thing is, bro? I would just say just
But they
do
want to
it.
be just like you.
Yeah, because I'm just bro, I'm still scared to put out
No,
content.
yeah.
Like I'm still scared.
Because people feel like I might say the wrong thing.
Yo, I'm not
or-
even
you know
gonna,
what I mean?
Yeah, like I had a piece of content today that I had recorded. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I must have watched it 30 times. I didn't put it out.
No.
I didn't put it out. Yeah, I didn't put it out. I still get scared to put out something sometimes.
Oh, that's
and then
good to know,
sometimes
though.
I'm just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? But
You gotta do it,
yeah, I would just say, just do it. You know what I mean? Like if you feel it, you gonna post it. This
Yeah.
morning, like it was decent content, but I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't post it. But yeah, not every day is gonna be a day where you're gonna go crazy and post like amazing content.
That's good to know though, because
You
a
know?
lot of people they feel like I shouldn't put it out there. Like I'm not sure exactly what I want to say, but sometimes you just gotta go.
Yeah, you just gotta say it. You just gotta say it. And
Yeah.
sometimes like I said, sometimes I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to go crazy. Like I'm out here, I'm outside, I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm going crazy in the gym. Like
Yeah.
I own my own
Oh,
business.
I see you going in
I'm
too.
getting to this
Your
money.
boy lifting heavy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Okay.
you feel me? Like it's you just really gotta, bro, you just gotta go after it.
So for the shirt you're promoting Only Chasing Purpose.
Yeah, only chasing purpose. Yeah.
When was that made?
I actually made this shirt. So I made the affirmation
Okay.
2 Christmases ago.
Get the hell out of here.
So December 2023, I wrote it, and I wrote a bunch more. It's gonna be a whole series of different affirmations on the
Yeah,
shirts.
and it's all motivated culture, right?
Yeah, excuse me. It's all motivated culture. But yeah, I had wrote a bunch of different affirmations. This was the first one though. This
Yeah.
was the very first one I wrote. It just came to me, bro. I remember I was sitting on the couch, at my ex's crib, and and we were just chilling, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about motivated culture, and I'm like, yeah, I think I want to write a book. But I want the book to only be affirmations. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like different, like every page is a different affirmation. So,
Yeah.
not even paragraphs or nothing. And then I realized, then I thought about like, actually I could put this on shirts, and put it out there, and it'll make more of a statement because people gonna be walking around with it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be walking around with it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it turned into shirts. But I created this 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And
Oh, that's crazy for it to drop. Now, when'd you drop it?
I printed it up in Christmas.
That's crazy.
Around Christmas 2024. So it took me a year to even print the shirts.
Oh shit.
It took me almost 8 months
Yeah.
to put them on the street. You feel me? So I was sitting on them, and then finally, it just felt like the right time. I was like, I'm about to start, pushing these out there. And people been gravitating towards them.
And you got the whole motivated culture. I might need a shirt.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Oh yeah, I brought one for you.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah, I brought one for you, bro. Hold up.
Yeah,
Hold
good
up.
luck, bro.
Yeah. I brought one for you, my God.
Only Chasing Purpose. This is
Only
fire,
chasing
right?
purpose, bro. That's what you doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, nah, you doing it, bro. You doing it. Yeah.
I felt like it was a calling. Like I had to do this.
Yeah, like what got you here?
Got here.
Yeah, to this right here.
I don't know. I felt like it's one of those things. Like I used to be a coach. I used to coach my son's team.
Mm-hmm.
And before I was a coach, there was a coach that he used to be real humble. He used to be like so monotone and not loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be like, damn, why is he so quiet? Like, why does he not like direct them? Like when he was coaching certain kids, I was like, yo, he can't like direct right. So I felt like anytime like you felt something like you had to change something, then like I used to look at myself like, why don't you do that shit?
Yeah.
Why don't you try it? So I ended up coaching for 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
So I just ended it. So same with podcasts. I used to listen to certain podcasts. I was like, that podcast is not bad. I was like, I felt like I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, I was like, shut the hell up. Do that shit yourself then.
Yeah.
I mean, it does take a lot, but I feel like, why not do it then?
Yeah, why not, bro?
You know what
why
I mean?
not? Especially because I just think like there's so many people doing it now that people are looking for something more authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. At first it was like a real dope space where you found a lot of really dope pods, and
Yeah.
then like anything else, it becomes oversaturated. Like too many people doing it.
Yeah.
And now people are at that point where it's so many, people are looking, it's like picking through it to try and
Yeah.
find something dope. And when you have something dope, it stands out amongst all the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
I feel like
it's
the
a
best,
perfect time.
Yeah, and I feel like the best thing, like a lot of people, like anything you do in life, they feel like that's oversaturated. Anything you do, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, even like what motivated culture, probably,
Yeah.
people probably like, yo, that's oversaturated.
Yeah, there's 100 pages like this. Yeah,
But the only thing that beats it is hard work literally beats talent.
Yeah.
Like you got to put in the work.
Oh, exactly.
So I feel like the best thing I could do is just try to put in work, and I feel like hopefully it does the best. But I want to do this. I want to hear like people's story. And you were one of the first. We were at an event, and remember I asked you? I was like, should I start with like kick it with Davitson, right?
Yeah, that was what you
And I was like, that or a better understanding. You were one of the few that said, I like
a better
ABU.
understanding.
Yeah.
Because Kick It with Davidson is,
Everybody.
to me, that's everybody. Like, you know, that's basic. But when you told me a better understanding, at that right there, it resonated with me because
With you,
with me, because it's like, all right, you know, you're actually giving a purpose to what you're trying to like get out of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you trying to get a better understanding of who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying?
It's like I'm trying to get a service for you to speak on how you feel and like what you went through.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just, you know, and that's why I told you what I told you when I saw you. I just thought that, you know, that right there, like that's something that's right here. You know what I'm saying? Kick It with Davidson is like, it's so surface level, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to be in here talking about like rap and movies and shit.
Anything.
It's like, like you can't be talking about no life shit. Kick It with Davidson. Like,
I mean, we could do that.
I mean, you could.
You could do all of it, right?
Yeah, you could do all of it. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
But like, you know, I just feel like you're more of the type of person that, you know, can get people to like really talk about something that matters. You know what I mean?
You're right. That's the whole point of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So so what do you think about I think you were talking about you were like one of the few when you were bringing up the Drake situation, not Drake and Kendrick. But the Drake, you were like, you felt like Drake was from Danbury.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yo, it was an ongoing thing. Like,
is it Trashers or Thrashers? Trashers, right?
Oh yeah, was it? Is it Trashers? Yeah, Trashers.
Oh, fuck,
yeah. The hockey team.
Yeah.
When he got the jersey and stuff like
but
that.
But he's one of the few that was like repping it as a celebrity.
He was the first person to get a jersey.
Yeah. What was his name that got it for him?
He got it from AJ Galante.
From AJ, yeah.
And actually, you know, the funny thing is that I was standing next to AJ at the barbershop when the text messages was coming through. He was in Dave's chair, and
that
he was
shit
like,
went viral.
And he was like, "Yo, Drake." He was like, "Yo, you won't believe this shit, yo." He was like, "Drake is DMing me on Instagram," and I was like, "What?"
Like Drake,
I was like,
or
Drake the rapper?
like as his assistant?
No, bro, Drake himself,
like Champagne Poppy
was DMing AJ like directly. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Yo," because that hockey documentary came out on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it came out just in time.
And you know, in Canada, you know, hockey is a huge thing. So Drake was watching the hockey documentary, saw the whole thing about the Trashers, AJ Galante, you know, his dad, all that type of stuff, and he was like, "Yo, I need a jersey."
Oh shoot!
Yo, hit this man up for a jersey, bro.
And I think I seen something.
And then Fab had it.
Where AJ said he knocked the glass because they didn't have he wanted the jersey at the time. Something like where he broke the glass and he gave him the jersey that was like hung up in the glass.
Oh, I didn't even know that. He probably gave him
because he wanted it like now.
Yeah,
wanted it now. I need it now. Yeah,
he didn't want to wait for it.
Yeah.
He didn't want. And then they drove it up to like midway, like between here and Toronto. And
that's crazy. How fire was that when Drake had the jersey on?
I mean, he put on like
just Danbury in general.
Think
right?
about it, yeah. Like that's our city.
That's
like,
crazy.
Now Drake, you know, the biggest artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? Male artist or however you want to look at it. Like, son got a jersey from our town on. Like, that's crazy. Or our city, however.
Yeah, like the number one artist.
You know, it's crazy. I just thought that was a moment in time, man. It was a moment in time.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the Drake and Kendrick beef? You picking sides?
No.
I'm not picking sides too. Yeah, I like both.
I'm like super off it. Like, you know, I'm one of those people that's like so over it, bro. Like, I really am, because now it's like gotten to a point, especially with like social media and Twitter and all of that. Like, it's so, you know, either you're on this side or you're on that side, and like, man, it's just like,
why do we gotta pick sides?
It don't matter. Like, you know, I was around for the Jay-Z and Nas beef, and it was like
picking sides.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't picking sides like how it is now.
Who do you think won that beef?
Oh, I still think Hov got him with
Hov?
the takeover. I'm a takeover
Nah.
guy. Yeah,
I think
always been.
you know what's crazy? I
Yeah.
think Nas won that beef, but at the end of the day, like career like wise,
Yeah.
Jay-Z. But
Yeah.
Nas is the guy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'm a takeover guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just always thought that the takeover was more facts. You know what I'm saying? Like Hov was actually breaking down numbers, breaking down his career. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Breaking down facts. And Nas,
But you see what Nas is doing now.
yeah, and then
crazy.
Nas and Ether was more making fun of, big lips, this, that, you corny, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which is still fire, don't get me wrong, because it's a
Yeah,
battle.
yeah.
Like, so we beefing, we talking. You know what I'm saying? But, me as a person, you know what I mean? Like, I always been more like, I think it hurts more when you can literally break down somebody's accomplishments and make them not accomplishments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, your accomplishments, they small compared to mine.
You're saying what
Like,
Jay did to Nas?
Yeah, exactly. I think that hurts more. I know for me personally, it would hurt more. Like, if I had a ton of accomplishments and a man made him seem small,
Do you feel
in
like
comparison to his, it's like, damn, that stings. You know what I mean? I don't care if you say my nose is big. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, I already
Do
know
you feel
that.
like it's the same with Drake and Kendrick?
No, I think their beef was a little different. I think they genuinely, there was a common denominator for Jay and Nas. Like, they were both with the same woman. And that's what, started the whole beef. For these two dudes, I think they genuinely just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Cool.
Drake
K-Dot
and
and
Kendrick.
Drake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they genuinely just don't like each other.
Yeah,
It's something that's been festering for a very long time. And
Yeah, I didn't know that until I like looked into it, like the beefs, the songs that was coming out.
Bro, it's been going on for like,
Like,
10
it's been a
years.
while.
It's been a long time, maybe even a little longer than that. And so it's like, yeah, when you really don't like somebody and there's time in between that, not liking somebody, like over the course of time, like you just want to just air that person out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and I feel like that's where they at. Like, I mean, you can see it now. Look. I mean, look how they are. Like they're still going at it. It's been over a year. Like, they still talking about each other. They still worried
I
about
feel
it.
like it's weird. Like as much as like I felt like K-Dot won the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody that used Drake like to get a future and stuff, like people forgot like Drake put them on
Yeah.
or made them hot again.
Yeah, and I think that the thing is with Drake is like he put a lot of people on, and I also feel like at the same time he strategically gave the right people features because he knew it would expand his audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so like, and that was one of the things like Kendrick had said, like, how many times you gonna put like an Atlanta artist on your records? Because we all know that if you have the Atlanta audience, you're spinning in every club. You're spinning in, you know what I mean? Like,
especially Atlanta too.
Yeah, and especially in Atlanta, which is huge. It's a huge demographic. And, nowadays, New York listens to a lot of Atlanta artists. I mean, Atlanta, they took
West
over.
Coast.
So like, they had took over for a while. So it's like, if you're playing in Atlanta, good chances you're playing all over the country. So
Yeah.
And he was looking to expand into that audience. You know what I mean? So I think, although he put a lot of people on, Drake strategically, chose certain artists because he knew it would expand him, into, different demographics.
So you're saying what Drake did was more like helping himself than them
I,
needing
I,
him?
I think he was doing both.
Or both. It was both.
I think he was helping artists, but at the same time he knew, because Drake's not a stupid dude. I mean, you see how he moved. You don't amass, what he has. I mean, he's got what same amount of number ones as Michael Jackson. I mean, you don't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about Mike. Like nobody's ever done that. You know what I mean? Besides Mike. So it's like to get to that point, you ain't no dumb cookie. You know what I mean? So I think he realized like, all right, well, I could expand this career past 20 years as long as my audience is large enough and I'm in, every single market that I can be in. And you know, and that's being calculated like that is what creates longevity.
How you used to make music back in the days. I used to make beats back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were supposed to collab like not too long ago, right? A while back.
Yeah, it was like a couple years ago. You were talking about you had a beat pack, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah.
We were supposed to, but never happened.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah, man. You know what? Honestly, man, I was just I haven't like thought about rapping until it's crazy because recently I thought about it. Like I was like,
coming back.
Yeah, so it was like the 12-year anniversary of my album Man from the Sky on
Okay.
July 30th. And so I was like, damn, 12 years. And I was listening to the album. I must have ran it all day. You know what I mean? I even posted on IG
Yo, if
and
you think
everything.
about that, 12 years is crazy.
12 years is crazy.
There's kids that's 12.
Legit. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, I was thinking, like, damn, 12 years ago. I'm like,
Over
fuck.
a decade is crazy.
You know, but I was like, man, you know, maybe I got bars or something.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was thinking maybe I got bars or something. And you know what's funny? Jazz actually hit me up last night.
Yo,
And he made a beat.
Jazz started making beats again, right?
He posted one
I
last
don't know if it was Jazz, but I seen that shit on my like For You page.
Uh-huh.
And I seen beats on there. I was like, yo, is that Jazz?
With
He
the
got
two-
like
it's
a
like the-
separate page?
Is it like the two girls? Is it like...
I think so. There's like a video of like girls like
and it looks vintage? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Jazz, bro.
Jazz beats is crazy.
Nah, that joint he made, like, he hit me up last night. He hit me up at like 3 in the morning. He was like, yo, what you think? You know what I mean? And so I woke up. I get up at like 4:30. So I popped up and I seen Jazz had hit me at like 3:30. I'm like, what this dude hit me at 3:30 for?
Oh,
like,
shit.
you know, I'm in bed by 10. You feel me? But I seen it and I popped it on and I'm like, oh, this shit hard. I'm like, hold on.
You about to get back.
I'm laying in a bed at like 4:45. I'm like, yo, I got bars for this.
I'm back for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'm back for this. He just hit me back a couple hours ago, and he was like, "Yo, I left a little spot open on the beat." He was like, "Yo, give it a verse." You know what I'm saying? Post it on YouTube. So I was like, man.
So you got to get back to recording.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, you know what though, man? I tell you right now, if I come back, I'm on some LL Cool J shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm making music for only women. I'm not making no street music, no nothing like that.
But that music, the beats he make, it seems like that type of music.
Yeah, it has that
right?
wave. It has that wave, yeah. But you know, yeah, like I told
With the
myself,
samples and the way yeah.
I'm making music for women, you know what I'm saying? And
Shout out to Jazz though, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Jazz. Shout out to my man Jazz, bro. He always come at the
That
right
hometown
time.
record, yeah.
He always come at the right time. You know, funny story about the hometown record too. Like that beat wasn't even for me.
Who was it for?
He had made it for somebody else. I forget. So he was like, he was in the middle of working for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? This was like after he was working with Travi.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I know
his
you're
name.
talking
You know what I'm
about
talking about.
Travis, yeah.
Yeah, Travis. I can't think of his last
With
name.
the long hair.
Yeah, but the dude,
Yeah.
he was making like the music and shit. And
Yep.
you know, Jazz working with them, went on tour with them, and da. And yeah. So, but I think he was working with Sicario at the time. He was working with a couple people.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Like Jazz was, he was doing this thing. And he came in one day and he had a beat pack and he was playing like beats for us. And there was a couple joints that I had grabbed out of there.
Yeah.
But there was one joint and he was like, oh, yo, you can't have this one though. Like this one is for, you know, something else. But he left the beat on my computer.
Yeah.
And so
That's like asking you to take it.
you know what I'm saying?
It's like, hey, you
but he
can't
wasn't,
take this
though. He
one,
was-
but this is
he
the
was-
exclusive.
He was genuinely upset. You know what I'm saying? He was genuinely upset that I rapped over the beat. Like we had
Wait, so you recorded over it with him saying don't do it?
He was tight. We had a little smoke for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't mad at him at all. He had every right to be mad at me because
Oh,
he
wow.
told me it wasn't for me. You know, but dog, when I heard it,
It was a calling.
yeah, like, bro. Like it turned out to be my biggest record. You know
It
what I'm
is,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it turned out to be my biggest record. Like, and it put on for the town. And then the music video, we went all over this town, and we
Yo,
had
I was
everybody
gonna say
in
that.
it. Like,
Not only the song, like the
Yeah.
video is crazy too.
yeah.
What was that? Tuxedos?
Yeah, I just remember that, like sitting down and the joint came on, and I heard it for the first time, and I'm like,
I can hear it in my head right
what
now.
if I never make it? What if I never took it serious? Then where would I be?
Yeah.
So shed the alias, you know. So like,
Yeah,
because at the
that's
time, that's
crazy.
what happened. That's why, you know, it was my
That's
life.
when y'all had the studio too.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, and it was my life. That's why I said so shed the alias, because I was Nasty Nut, and I transitioned to like, yo, I'm gonna use my real name. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm about to really take this shit serious. You
I
know?
felt like that was
Yeah.
like your first like breakthrough record, right?
Oh yeah, that was a breakthrough record, like especially in the town.
Because
like,
you had records. I remember you had like mixtapes and stuff before, but when I heard that, I was like, oh wow.
Well, yeah, because that was on Robots and Skylines. So that was like,
was it?
That was like the tape with all the crazy drawings on it and stuff.
Was
like
that the first one?
That was the first one. The
Okay.
second one with all the crazy drawings on it, that was Faded Dreams. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is my best work. Faded Dreams was my best work, but Robots and Skylines was the one that really, you know, made people think like,
Yeah.
oh, yo, like this nigga might actually, he might be the one. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
ever like when you put yourself out there, like you check like the comments, you look at like YouTube, you're like, All these strangers are
Yeah.
giving you shout outs and all that.
Bro, I still
Like
get
how good you are.
I still get emails from YouTube like on my music
Because you got it still linked to your phone.
And yeah, because it's still, and I get an email. I just got an email maybe like 3 weeks ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
somebody was like, it was on one of my songs called "Get It Together," and
Okay.
somebody was like, "I'm still here in 2025." Like, bro, that song came out in 2012.
Oh,
You feel
that's
me?
crazy.
So 13 years later, somebody who he had commented on it in 2012.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "Yo, I'm still here in 2025." I'm like,
Yeah.
so it's stuff like that to me having me thinking like, man, yo, what if I just pop back out?
I know.
You know what I mean?
You know what it is? I think people just like your energy in general.
Yeah.
Like people like you, like what you do.
Well, yeah. And
So music too, like in general, like you're
Yeah.
nice in rapping too, but in general, like people like you, like your image.
Yeah. And I always, I always prided myself in like being the type of artist that said real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit mattered to me. Like was like, yo, and I'm a deep person, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very deep person. Like I feel immensely. You know what I'm saying? So, I always say stuff on record and people be like, yo, damn, I feel that. Like, that's me too. And I remember off of Faded Dreams album, and I forget what song it was, man. At this point, I forget what song it was. It's crazy because the girl actually ended up making a beat for me later down the line. And I
You
rapped
said what?
over
The
it.
girl?
It was a girl
That's
who
crazy.
made beats. You know what I'm saying? And she was going through something, bro. If I'm not mistaken, because there was multiple people. This is a while ago, so I don't want to speak out of context. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm not mistaken, like she was really down on her luck, super depressed, and was like thinking about committing, suicide, like an unspeakable act, and she was like, yo, she hit me one day, crazy paragraph. I remember she was from North Carolina, and she was just like, yo, your music like really got me out of something. Like, I was going
How do you
something
feel
in
from
my
that?
life.
Yeah.
Nigga, it's shit like that, my nigga.
That keeps you pushing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That meant more to me, and that's why I said to you in the beginning of our convo, like, that the celebrity shit never meant anything to me. Like, I never cared to be a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I always felt so comfortable just walking away from rap, because it's not what I wanted anyway.
Yeah.
My whole point was just to, like, touch people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, that's my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And, like, going back to only chasing purpose, like, how I even created that was because, and I told you about motivated culture, all those things tie together for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, writing affirmations, writing quotes and stuff like that. That was the same for me as rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because what I was saying in the music was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was real shit. It was my real life, and it was me when I was down. It was me when I was up, and you know what I'm saying? It was, stories that I was told, and all that type of shit. And I realized that, like, that's my purpose in life. My purpose in life is to touch people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My purpose in life is to help people, you know what I'm saying, get to where they're going, help people get through what they're going through, and, motivate and inspire. Like, that's my purpose in this life, you know what I'm saying? So, like, now where I'm at, whether it be music or whether it be motivated culture or whether it be cutting hair, because even with cutting hair, people sit in my chair and, they talk about their life, bro.
I was just about to say that. Like you cutting hair,
so you think
people,
about,
you hear people's life stories
if you
all
think
day,
about everything that I've ever done, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was in the street and I was doing what I was doing, that was hand in hand with people, you know what I'm saying? And then when I was making music, like, that was me pouring my soul out and my pain out, you know what I'm saying, on wax, you know what I'm saying? And people related to that. And, I was speaking to them and for them. And then, when I decided I wasn't going to do that no more, I was like, yo, the cutting hair for me was like the next thing, but I didn't realize at the time that it was the same thing. It was me touching people on a hand-to-hand, you know what I'm saying, and talking to them and, cutting their hair, giving them a service and making them feel better through a haircut, while they talk to me, you know what I'm saying, and I talk back, you know what I mean, and like, and that's why, the barbering shit has been such a huge thing for me. And then that turned into motivated culture, you know what I'm saying? That, we ran that up. That page is at 514,000 followers.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I did that
I
organically.
respect that though,
And I did that organically. That's no cap at all.
Yeah.
Like, I never bought a post. I never
Like,
bought
you did
bots.
that
I never
for
bought nothing.
Yeah.
I did that from,
I
from
feel
the
like
mud.
that's crazy because a lot of people do that. Like, they do it for the bots and to make their views look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy to hit them numbers and you doing everything organically, right?
Yeah, organically. I did that shit from the mud, bro. You know, so it's like, but that's what it always been for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like being able to touch people and, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yo, I get it. It's not about just the satisfaction I get from it, because I do get a satisfaction from it. But,
Yeah.
yo, knowing that somebody is better off than when I touched them or when I seen them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what matters to me. You
So
know what I mean?
what made you feel that way? I feel like your energy reminds me almost like, Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it like speaks out in general.
Yeah.
Some people they motivate, but I feel like your energy is like, God damn, I feel like
Yo, so it's so funny. Like I said, I was listening to my music earlier.
yeah.
I was listening to this song "Get It Together," which is one of my favorite joints that I wrote. But
Okay.
you know, I was one of the bars, and it's like Al-Fatir, definition creator, never really religious, got congregations of haters, true fakers waiting on my downfall. But if I fell down, I'm landing on a cloud, dog.
It's crazy, yeah.
And you know, and that's what the definition of Al-Fatir is. My real name, my genuine name that my mother gave me. You know what I'm saying? Is out of the Quran.
Oh,
And,
is it?
Yeah, and it means the originator, the creator. You know what I'm saying? So like, whenever I think about that, it's like, you know, I always feel like I was destined for something bigger.
So you had to use your name.
Yeah, so I had to use my name. I had to use my name.
Because I felt like Nasty
And I got-
Nut.
and I gotta
Nasty
live
Nut
my
was a
name.
dope name, but I felt like Al-Fatir
Well,
was like,
Nut was my nickname. That's what they called me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that was my mother's nickname for me. It was Peanut. You know what I'm saying? And
Till you
then,
used Nut, yeah.
and then that turned into Nut. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yep.
when I started rapping, it turned into Nasty Nut. You know, so we talking about the evolution of a man. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it wasn't until like, you know, I was like maybe, you know, in my early 20s that I was like, yo, my name is Fire. You know what I mean? Like, I'm neglecting my real name. And my name is Fire. Like, yo, it means something. It means something.
why not use your real name?
Yeah, and you know, as I get older, I think about how deep it really goes. You know what I'm saying? And like the evolution of who I've become. You know,
Yeah.
I realized that my name was perfect. Like it was meant for me in every way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it
But
really
I
was
felt
meant
like
for
you
me.
had to like go through that to actually understand using your name.
Absolutely. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like, especially, like, you think about, like I said, you know, the definition or the meaning of Al-Fatir, you're the originator, the creator. I mean, to originate something, you have to go through something to be the first to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To create something, you have to take something and mold it to actually say, yes, I created this. You can't have something from nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like, yo, you know, I had to create myself. I had to go through, you know, everything I've been through. You know, I've been through incarceration. I've been through,
Yeah.
you know, like all the different steps of my life, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, I've been down, bro, and I've been up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, now it's like, you know, I'm getting to that point in my life where it's just like, yo, all right, we good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The times you were down, how did you like get out of all of that?
Yo, bro.
Speaking to yourself,
I
right?
still don't know. I
Yeah.
still don't know, but you know, it's just never.
Sometimes you just got to go through it.
It's
right?
just never stopping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, like, you know, like never stopping. I've never really been like a depressed person. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't say that to like, you know, shit on anybody else or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, because we all go through different things. But, you know, I have extreme confidence in self. And so, like, even when I was down, it was like, yo, I knew I was going to get back, because when I was down the last time, it might not have been lower than this, but I was able to get there.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was lower, but every time I bounce back. So whenever I fall back and I get back to a place, or like if I do end up falling down, I know I can get up because I got up every other time before. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I'm never worried about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get back regardless.
What do you say to the people that like are down like that and they feel that way and they don't have the confidence to get back like the way you do?
Yeah. Well, first things first, you know, I'm very blunt with them. You know what I'm saying? And like, I do have a streak about me. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
because I'm sympathetic to some. You know, I'm not sympathetic to all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Or to somebody you don't know.
exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and some people want sympathy. You know what I'm saying? And they want you to be sympathetic for them. And then there's the people who really need it. You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
I
So
get
like,
that, yeah.
like if you know, like, listen, if I know you, or like if I know what type of person you are, I may not know you directly, but I've seen you, I've watched from afar,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know you can get up off your ass and do something because you just sitting around acting stuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, get up off your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's go time. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
get it.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
for real. Like if you stay there, if you fall down and you stay there and you lay there, you just lay there, then yeah, you always gonna
That's
be
on you
down.
then.
You always gonna be down. That's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
you. You know, that's like that saying. Like, yeah, if you fall and you lay there, the fuck. I mean,
yeah.
what can I do for you? But if you fall down and you try and get back up, I got my hand out for you.
You know what I wanted to bring up? Like some of my podcasts, I wanted to bring up like men's mental health. Like,
Mhm.
that's not talked about because a lot of men supposedly they don't cry. But what do you say to like people like that they're in the dark stages and they want to
Mhm.
get themselves out?
You know,
You feel like they just have to figure it out. They gotta like
no, I mean, first things first.
work on themselves, right?
We live in this society now, man, where you can't even have emotions, or like
Especially as a man.
as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like that back then too. But now, with social media and it's all at the forefront, and you know, man, and I'm the type of person. I'm an emotional person. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
am. I can be closed off to things sometimes. Like I said, I do have a streak about me, but at the end of the day, I'm a human, man.
We're all
And you
human
just
in the
gotta.
day.
I just want everybody to. I think the first thing is just to realize that, like, yo, you're just a person. At the end of the day, you're a human being. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, if you feel like you need to cry about some shit, cry about
That's
some
okay.
shit.
Yeah,
Fucking crazy. Like, yo, like, man, I watch a movie right now, watch Lion King right now, I'm
yeah.
gonna
Oh
shed a
yeah, yeah.
tear. You feel me? Like, yo, it was crazy when Mufasa died, bro. And I'm just
Yeah,
using that
yeah.
as an example. You know what I'm saying? But like, even in real life, you lose somebody you love. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't shed a tear for them, it's not like you're not like manly because you don't shed a tear. Like, that don't make you no man.
But
Like,
people feel that way. Not
yes, they
you
feel
know what I
that way,
mean?
and I
They
and
feel
I
like I
think
can't do
that
that.
that bothers me so
Like people don't
much.
cry during movies. I feel like that's
Yeah,
okay to do.
it is okay. Everything is okay to do, bro.
Yeah.
Everything is okay to
And
do.
you were just preaching being vulnerable not too long ago, right?
Yeah, because yo, you have to be.
I feel like that's dope. I feel like
That's a superpower, bro.
yeah.
People think of vulnerability as a weakness, and it's not. It's a
It's
strength.
not. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a strength, bro, to be able to say like, "This is who I am." Like, yo, bro, that makes you so much stronger than the next person because the next
Yeah.
person is scared to say that. They scared to be that. You know what I mean? And maybe your vulnerability could make that person realize, like, yo, you know what? It's okay to be who I am. It's okay to be me.
And there's certain things like people are scared to say like they don't know something. Like
Mhm.
they're scared to like say that they don't know.
Oh yeah.
Like in relationships and everything, people
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I don't know, and I'm not gonna ask. Like
Well, yeah, I think that's a whole nother thing. You know
that's
what
a
I'm
whole yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
yeah, people, being like, oh yeah, if yo listen, if you never ask the question, you'll never know.
You never know. Yeah,
Yeah, and if you never say, oh, if you never look for the yes, then the answer will always be no.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not even willing to go out on the ledge to find out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another thing too. So many people are scared to stand at the edge. You know what I mean? Like, people used to be risk takers. People used to want to stand at the end of the cliff. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Your toes hanging off, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I could stick this landing.
yeah,
Maybe I could stick this landing. You know what I'm saying? But now people are so scared that they're gonna fall that they're like, all right, let me take 2 steps back. Well, bro, there ain't nothing there for you. There's nothing there for you. On the other side of that, at that edge, that's a whole new terrain, bro. That's a whole new space that you ain't been at. Yeah, it's the edge, and it might require you to, jump off a little bit. But if you make that leap, if you make that jump, and you stick that landing, you know what I'm saying? Who knows where you're gonna go next? You know what I'm saying? And the next one might not even be as steep, but it might take you a lot farther. So it's like, I just think that, we've gotten away from all of that. And, I just wish people would be more open with themselves and to opportunity and to taking risks and being who they are and being vulnerable and being emotional and, all those things because, that's what makes a real person. That's what makes a genuine person. And that's what's going to take you a lot farther than anything else. You know what I mean?
yeah. What do you gotta say for like this generation? I feel like a lot of like kids like this generation, they feel like they're not good. So when you're not good, you feel like you can't do it. Like all of us, we have to go through the not being good to becoming great, right?
Well, you know,
And I feel like this generation, they don't even try. So when they don't try, they'll never know. Like, what do you have to say about kids this generation?
You know, it's crazy because this generation is weird. And I don't mean that in the sense that they are weird people. I'd say they're in a weird space.
Or
They
these
grew up in
kids.
weird times. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to deal with the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
You're
For
right.
one. You know what I'm saying? And not only just that though, but you know, they have electronics has been in their hands their entire life. So they are exposed to so much more. Like, you know, we're millennials, so we were in that phase where like, yo, we didn't have electronics and we had electronics while we were young. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you might have been, I didn't even have my first phone until I was like 15. You know what I'm saying?
You see these kids now?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They be like 5
they
years
got
old with a
phones now.
phone.
But 15 is still young to have an electronic device. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like we had the best of both worlds as millennials. And I feel like, you know, these kids now, they just had, you know, the electronics immediately. And although one thing I've noticed, some of them are crazy smart, bro.
Oh,
like
yeah,
OD
yeah.
smart because they're exposed to so much more at a younger age. They know so like a broader range of things, but it's also made them, you know, weaker in the sense that, you know, they use that as a crutch. You know what I mean?
Do
And
you feel like these kids, like their brains are like almost fried?
um
Not fried,
not
but you know what
fried,
I
but
mean.
I just think that their brain might be a little exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And like
But they don't even know that.
yeah, but no, they don't know it. They don't know it. And I think that they feel pressure differently because they're expected. There's so much more expected of them because they
'Cause-
are exposed to so much more.
Because what do people say? Like our age, they're like, oh, they're like, we used to do this back in the days, or back in our time, and these kids are like, oh, I don't want to hear it.
You know, but I
You
mean,
hear it all the time.
you know, but that's every generation because we were those kids at one point in time. Like you know, I was just talking to somebody about this recently, talking
Yeah.
about, you know, the state of hip hop now. You know what I mean? And you know, I remember when I was young, and I was like, OGs used to be like, "Oh yeah, yo, y'all music whack." And I was listening to, you know, Ludacris and Jay-Z and da da da. They'd be like, "Oh, you know, y'all listen to all this da da da."
And that's crazy to say that now.
It's crazy to say it now. Even then, it was crazy. I mean, it
Yeah.
was tripping. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and they telling me about, you know, Grandmaster Flash or something like that.
Rock him.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, you know, those dudes. And you know, Rakim, don't get me wrong, there were a few that were really nice.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Cool G
yeah.
Rap, you know, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, like they were actually rapping.
KRS,
But
yeah.
KRS, you know, but the rest of those dudes, like, they weren't rapping. There was, you know, ABCD, you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
you know, I was telling them that. But now, you know, I'm OG, you know what I'm saying? And the kids are like, yo, I had a kid tell me, yo, that Jay-Z really wasn't nice. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. Yo, I was mind blown, bro. I'm like, dog, do you even understand? Like, he was rapping in double and triple entendres. And he's like, what's an entendre? You know, so at the same time, they're exposed to so much more and they know like a broader range of things, but at the same time, it's dumbed them down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you know, and they don't appreciate the intricacies of things that, you know, that we were exposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I appreciate somebody who can, you know, have a rhyme scheme like that and, you know, make something like, you know, you're talking about a hat, but you're also talking about, you know, a hi-hat and a beat. And at the same time, you're talking about, you know, all these different things. And you know what it is, you know, an entendre and all the similes. And you know all the different things we were
that's
exposed
funny you
to,
saying that,
punchlines.
like,
You
when
don't even hear punchlines anymore.
No, you don't.
You know, it's like crazy. Like, you think about what Lloyd Banks was rapping. I was like,
You know, Lloyd Banks is like still my top 5.
I mean,
To
yo,
this day.
he was crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
them G-Unit freestyles, I still listen to them.
I
to
think
this
he's
day.
about to do a mixtape with Alchemist.
Oh yeah, I seen something like that.
I seen something like that.
And his
yeah.
tapes are still hard. He's still dropping hard tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know.
But yeah, you tell kids nowadays, you're like, oh yeah, you know, Fab Jada Kiss. They're like, who's that?
Yeah.
What you mean, who's that?
But you do get some throwbacks though, because I had a young kid, you know JC?
JC.
JC used to rap with Artemio and them. They
Oh,
had
yeah,
CMY.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so his kids, and that's the thing, he's an artist. So his kids were exposed to a lot of the music that he did, he listened to. And
that's dope.
one of his sons was at my shop and he was like, yo, you know, I was listening to house music. nowadays I listen to a lot of house. I want feel good music, you know what I mean, in my older age.
Yeah.
But I want to feel good all the time, B. You know what I mean?
Who said that? JC or the kids?
No, I want to feel good all the
Oh,
time. But
okay,
he heard
yeah.
me listening to the house, and he was like, yo, I'm disappointed. I thought I was going to hear some good music in here, like, cause he know me from rap. He know me.
Oh,
When he
yeah,
was young,
yeah.
I was rapping and da da da. And he was like, I thought I was gonna hear some Tupac or something. I'm like, bro, what you know about Tupac, bro? Tupac was dead 20 years when you was born. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but it's refreshing to see that some kids still, are exposed to by their parents, to
Yeah,
good
yeah.
music. Yeah.
Talking about house, who was playing house? You?
I was playing house music, yeah.
Who were you playing?
Um,
You're not sure.
Man, at that time, bro, I don't even know. I was listening to Kate Renata, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so
You know what's weird? I just started listening to house. Like my wife, she plays house music, and then I'm like, damn, house music with the bass,
fire.
like techno bass house, is crazy.
Fire.
Yeah,
Techno house, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to think of bands right now. I'm drawing a blank, but I got like
same here too.
I got like
I
two,
wanted to name some. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, I
yeah,
forgot.
I got like 2 different house playlists. You know what I'm saying? Like Gorgon City. I've seen who else? I've actually gone to like house shows.
Oh yeah.
I went to a dope one in Boston a couple years ago. It was on a yacht. And
On a yacht too?
yeah, like on a big ass yacht boat, and fucking you go into Boston Harbor,
Oh,
and
that's
they got the
fire.
DJs DJ, and the joint
Yeah.
was wild. It was lit, and that's when I was really like, oh nah, house music is fire. Like this shit is a vibe. You know what I mean? Because it puts you in a trance.
And I feel like not even that, I feel like everybody like dance to like house music. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
for
not hard to
everybody.
dance to
But
house music.
it's also for everybody. Like,
It is.
it's not for any one, type of person.
Yeah.
Anybody could bop the house.
Yeah.
Anybody could bop the techno. You know what I mean? Like, yo, and like when I was on that boat, it was every color on the Crayola box on that boat, man. And yo, there was no
Fire.
fight. There was no fights. It was all love. You know what I mean? Everybody dancing, sweating their ass off. You know what I mean? And everybody vibing, and yo, man, yo, I got a real love
You
for
got
like
videos of
techno and house. I don't know. I would have to check. I would have to check my phone, but
No, I was just
yeah,
saying in general.
but it was lit, bro. It was lit, and I had a blast, and But Gorgon City is one of my favorite like housey techno type bands. You know what I'm saying? They're fire. I think they're so fire.
I got an artist. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's like house. House.
Kate Renata too. Kate Renata is my favorite though. Like, yo, if you don't know,
It's not really like
if you don't know
EDC.
Kate Renata, listen, Kate Renata.
Search it up. Okay.
I'm telling you, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, and he actually creates. He produces.
Yeah.
So like he's not just a DJ. Like he actually produces the beats, and then he has artists,
Oh, that's
sing on
dope.
them and
Yeah,
rap
yeah,
on them and stuff. So like he's actually creating his own music. You know what I mean? And I seen him live. He opened up for The Weeknd on not this tour but the last tour, and
how was that?
I seen it at Gillette. The Weeknd is phenomenal. The Weeknd puts on a phenomenal show. If you've never seen The Weeknd like perform, he puts on a phenomenal show, bro.
Oh, does he?
The man had a moon floating in the middle of the arena. Like it was just floating, and it was like the background behind him, depending on the style of music he was going into, it changed. The background changed, and then the moon turned into the sun, and blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
that's
blah.
fire.
Fire. I live for shit like that.
Somebody
bro.
was saying like his concerts, they're almost like Kanye's concerts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like they
it's-
go all out for
Yeah,
their
he
concert,
goes all out, but he's doing stadiums and stuff too. You kind of got to go all out. You know what I mean? When you're doing arenas, it's a little different. It's more intimate, more enclosed, but when you're doing stadiums and, people are a mile up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to really put on the show. You know what I mean? And he does. He goes crazy. He's one of the best shows I've seen.
What do you think about Ye now? Because I know you used to be a big Ye fan, right?
Oh,
Kanye?
I'm
Or you're still a big
I'm
Ye
still a
fan,
huge
right?
Ye fan, but not
Yeah.
in the sense
Of music.
just in general. I mean, I'm a fan of Ye because of who he was. You know what I'm saying? I will forever
feel like
be a
still
fan.
like as an artist, as a person, like Ye.
Yeah,
He's that guy.
Yeah, nah. I mean, he's still creating dope music. I don't listen to it as much. It's not so much for me. Like he'll drop a song every once in a while, and I'll be like, oh, nah, this joint is fire, But
Yeah.
Ye's a different person, than he was. I do miss the old Ye. You know what I mean? Like I miss graduation.
Did
late
they make the
registration, yeah.
was it the shirts or the hats? Bring the Oye back.
Yeah, bring the Oye back.
That's
Yeah.
like they got like sweaters and
Yeah. But Ye also, man, he also knows he's a troll. He also knows what to say, how to say it to get attention.
yo, cause
you know what I
who
mean?
was that girl he was with? Bianca?
Bianca, yeah.
Bianca?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think he was a Bianca, but he was they went into like the red carpet. They weren't invited.
Man, she was naked.
But he did that for clickbait, but it got clickbait. Like Kanye is like the most genius person.
You were talking about, that's what I'm saying. He's a king troll. You know what I'm saying?
They
He
weren't
knows-
invited,
yeah.
but they still went.
He knows exactly what to do. And you notice that whenever
Right time and
whenever he
everything.
pops up, yeah, he's about to sell an album. You know what I mean? And you know, you get people talking about you, it goes hand in hand.
You're smart, yeah.
Yeah.
Motivated culture. Do you want to make it like a clothing line, like a brand? Of
of
course, it's
yeah.
a brand, but like, do you want to start selling like shirts, hoodies, like merch?
Eventually I want to like, maybe have a warehouse full of like different stuff, but
Yeah. I feel like that's how it happens when you don't even like try to like push it out.
yeah.
And when people the people they
still
just
feel like-
ask for
yeah,
it, that's when it comes. Like when everybody's like, oh,
And I
need
feel
that.
like I could do it honestly because I have the audience, but man, there's really something for me about getting it to touching a certain people first. You know what I'm saying? And I love, even when like, I did the music, I made a song with like Hometown, you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
I just really like touching my people first, you know what I'm saying? And making sure that they got it, you know what I'm saying? And that they're rocking it and that I give them a chance to really, become, well acquainted with, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I haven't really gone so crazy with it yet, and plus everything costs money, man. You know what I mean? I'm running a business. I'm, paying for life and, trust me, life is expensive. You know what I mean?
You were telling me that before, like with the whole music business, you were talking about how like it takes a lot of money, like when you were rapping before, right?
Mm-hmm.
People don't see that. They just think like, oh, he's putting out hits. Like they don't realize how much you're putting out, like promotion and
how much goes
everything
into it.
goes
Yeah.
into it.
Bro, I mean, that's the most
People just think like, oh, you recorded. Yo, what happened to Al-Fatir?
That's the most stressful part. The most stressful part is what you got to put into it, because you feel like...
It's rapping like the easy part, right?
Yeah, that's the easy part. You know what I mean? You feel like, man, I'm giving it so much.
110%.
Yeah, but I'm only getting back, a tenth of that because, I got to put my energy into things that, necessarily I don't feel like I want to do. You know what I mean? But, that's... You got to find that balance, man, and it's so hard to find that balance, especially when you have other people to worry about, when you got life to worry about, when, you just life in general, you know what I mean? It is hard. Yeah. It is hard to balance everything and make it all happen and, be focused on what you're doing, you know what I mean? So, it's tough. I'm like right now I'm balancing 3 different things and, that feels like a ton.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I've got ideas for days. Believe me, if I had $1 million, we'd have 100 million tomorrow.
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, know, but we don't got $1 million. You know what I mean? And so, we gotta grind the shit out and everything takes time and when it's right, it'll be right. You know what I mean? It's all in divine time and it's all God's plan.
You ever thought about like starting a podcast? Like sometimes I see your stuff, I'm like, damn, you got a lot of like motivational stuff. Like I feel like if you started something, people would follow like what you have to say.
Yeah, I've talked about it a million times. I mean, I thought about it a million times, like just having a setup and, but that takes people or, it takes, a team of some sorts. And then you got to, set up cameras. You got to know how to work those cameras. You got to know how to work the lights.
I know what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it takes work. Yeah.
It takes work.
Sometimes it takes a team, but I feel like you start understanding it.
You know, and like so, and that's the thing too, is like, one of the hardest things in life or like in whatever you're trying to do is getting people to believe that like, all right, I got the vision. Cause everybody wanna have the vision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you feel like everybody doesn't want to play their part? Everybody wants to
Well, that's the thing. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody
like,
wants
listen,
to be on.
You need a point guard, you need a shooting guard, you need a small forward, you know what I'm saying? Like, but point guard handles the ball the most, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a point guard. Like,
everybody wants to be Steph Curry.
Everybody can't be a PG, you know what I'm saying? And like, that was the hardest thing, from in music too, is like getting just people to play their part and play their role, because it's like they see you at the forefront, and they feel like they might feel like that they ain't getting their due part or their due respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, like, I couldn't have done this if you
Without
didn't do
you.
your part. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, you got to build the right team, and it's so hard to get the right team around you, because
Yeah.
everybody wants notoriety. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I it's crazy because I could honestly say I've never really been anything other than the point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I know that there are people that I know who always think like, oh, you always got to be at the forefront of the shit. You know what I'm saying? And da 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 da. But I do think I feel like I'm a visionary. You know what I'm saying? And
I
like,
felt like you stand out in general.
yeah,
Like people in general, like it speaks for itself.
yeah, I feel like I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
And it's and it's not like I don't have the things behind me to back it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, and I've done it all successfully. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's still, even no matter, you could do 10 things successfully, people still gonna look at you like, oh, and then they start looking at you like, oh, this dude think he's something else. He think
Yeah.
he's somebody. Like, nah, bro. I just know that whenever I do something and I put my hands on it, it turn to
Yeah.
gold. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got King Midas tatted on my hand. You
Oh,
know what I'm
wow.
saying? Like,
That's
yeah,
fire.
because I feel like everything I touch turns to gold, but I can't do it without the right people behind me. You know what I'm saying? That you think of a kingdom, you still gotta have a queen, you still gotta have a prince, you still gotta have a princess, you still gotta have a jester, you still gotta have a king's guard, you still gotta have, you know what I'm saying, all those things. You can't operate without none of those things. You know what I mean? But everybody can't sit on the throne either. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, you gotta get everybody to buy in on it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing to do whenever you're doing anything, bro, is getting people to buy in on your vision. Because they want the
Do you
vision to be
feel like
theirs.
because everybody wants to be like a somebody, so they feel like I want to stand out too?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's okay to be the cameraman,
Exactly.
the DJ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't want to say like they want to be in the video. You're like, nah, you're the camera guy. Like,
Yeah, I need you to hold the camera, dog.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Why
saying?
are you in the video? Who's gonna hold the
Yeah,
camera?
Like,
Like we need you. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So it's like I never, whenever I did a video with somebody,
Yeah.
a music video, like, I didn't tell that person how to shoot the music video or the treatment. Like, I did what they thought the vision was for what they heard from my music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I never got behind the camera and was like, yeah, shoot it this way. How am I tell you how to do what you do?
Your job. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your job. You know what I mean? So, it's like, yo, and I always defer to people like that too. Like, whenever I'm dealing with somebody who does something or is an expert in something, I always tell them like, yo, do you, dog? Like, it'd be like, oh, you want to do it like this? This what you do.
It's your job. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You let me know.
Yeah, you let me know, and I move how you see it fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the vision, so let's walk through your vision.
Yeah. I realize like certain people, they feel like they need like confirmation to like do certain things. Like, what do you feel about like? You probably go through that a lot. Like certain things, you feel like you got to confirm it with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you confirm that with yourself? Like anything you have to do, like even when you have to speak in front of the camera, how do you confirm like this is it that I have to put down? You know what I mean? Like your own confirmation without like some. I feel like some people, they feel like they always need somebody else to confirm.
They need somebody else to confirm. Yeah, somebody else's confirmation, somebody else's, But honestly, bro, like, I just kind of feel like, I told you, I'm a free flower, bro.
Yeah.
I don't need confirmation to do nothing. Not even from myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm gonna say.
But what do you feel like that could help people? Like people that are
they could help
trying
other
to
people.
do that. Yeah.
Yo, I would just say, believe in yourself. Like, people who need confirmation is because they don't believe in themselves fully. You know what I'm saying? They're not all the way invested in themselves, or they might not even know themselves truly as a person. So they need that confirmation from other people when realistically,
It's in themselves.
you already know what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
It's in you. You know what I'm saying? So, and if it's not in you, if you haven't found it yet, you need to do some soul searching. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you need to do some soul searching. You need to do some digging. You know what I'm saying? And maybe read a couple books or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
I've learned a lot from books, self-help books, and Just listen, I'm not above none of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm not enough. I was just reading the Four Agreements. You know what I mean? I'm reading the Four Agreements currently. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? For the second time. You know what I mean? Like, I had to spin the block on it because now I'm older and, I know more. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that I'm wiser and that I would understand, that book better than I did when I read it, say 7, 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not above any of that. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody should be. Like, you're not above learning. Like once you stop thinking that once you start thinking you know everything and that you're above learning from a book or another person or anything that can elevate you in an intellectual way, then you already done. It's already cooked for you.
Yeah.
It's already chopped. You might as well just stay keep doing what you're doing. And just stay in there. You know what I mean? Stay right there.
Do you feel like certain people they just don't want to grow and like? I mean, of course, that's the obvious answer. Yeah.
I think there are people who it's not that they don't want to grow. It's like they don't even think about growth.
Or they're too comfortable.
Yeah, they don't. But growth is you have to, like I said, you have to be able to look inward and know who you are, and to even know what growth looks like. You know what I'm saying? Some people, I've been around people who be like, oh, look at this dude. He think he, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, yo, he grinded for that.
Yeah.
He went crazy for that.
Or like people think you changed because
it's like Jay, like Hov said, people saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like, bro, I didn't do all of this
to be the same.
To be the same person. Like, you want me to be the same? For what? You know what I mean? Then there's no growth in that. There's no growth in staying the same. So but there are some people who are very content with that, and they're okay with that. They're okay being there. And kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? If you cool with that, But for me, I don't plan on stop elevating until the last to my last breath. If I'm 80, 90, bro, and I could still be something more than I was the day before, like, yo, we gonna touch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. Because what is your purpose? Like another reason why. That's another thing about only chasing purpose. You know what I mean?
That sure's dope.
Yeah. What's your purpose if you're not chasing something more? If you don't want something more, like what is your purpose? You got to serve it.
You feel like people don't have a purpose because they feel like they're like
everybody
scared, they're insecure of like.
Everybody got a purpose. Whether
you think so?
Whether you reach that purpose or actually get there, But I feel like we were all put here for a reason. Like you're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Whether you reach that or want to reach it, that's solely based on you. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but I think there are people who die every day who never knew what their purpose was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, they might have still had a happy life. To them, they might have been happy. You know what I mean? But I know for me, like, I'll never truly be happy. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, I didn't do what I was put here to do. Like, and, I didn't really tap into that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know what my purpose is. I know what it is now. And so, I'm going to tap into that. I'm going to pour into that.
No, that's dope. But yeah, you're one of the reasons why I brought you up here. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like in general, like me starting this podcast, like I was talking to people about this, but I felt like I was uncomfortable even doing a podcast. Like in general, I was like, but I just felt like it was a calling. Like I got the cameras. I'm like, I'm going to have to do it. Like I bought everything at this point, but then I still got that like, damn, should I still do it? Like, and I'm like half the time I'm like, you got to keep a conversation going.
Yeah,
there's certain things going, but I'm all like, yo, you cater to people, you service for people, like just do it. Like my wife was like, and then she told me today, like it was like good for me today, and she was like, I'm proud of you, like what you're doing. And I felt like I needed that from her, because from everybody else, it was just, you know what I mean? Yeah. From her, it's like somebody you love, you're like, now I feel like,
well, I mean, that's your partner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you chose her for a reason. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, you chose each other for a reason. You know, I should say. But you chose each other for a reason. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like getting that confirmation, so to speak. So to speak. Because it's not really that. You know what I mean? Like, she's invested in you. You know what I'm saying? As a human being. And like, if
and
she
just watching you grow.
Yeah. If she didn't think you were something to begin with, you wouldn't even be
buying
where y'all are. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all wouldn't even be where y'all are. You know what I mean? I don't know how many years y'all got in. You know what I'm saying? But, like, why would she, why would you? You know what I mean? So it's like, there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like having that person,
Supporting.
yeah, and that supports you, and they look at you like, man, like, you know, like you're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like think about how she's thinking about it. Like she actually had the thought in her mind where she was like, damn, you know, that's my husband. I love this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he doing something, and like she see that and she proud, and she actually genuinely feels love and happiness for you because of that. I've always,
Because sometimes you don't get that.
that's one thing, you know, I've always had a hard time wrapping my mind around. You know, I always think about the craziest things, but
Yeah.
you know, I really do always think about like, yo, how could another person look at another person and say like, man, like I genuinely love that person. Like everything they do, I think it's so fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
everything about them, like, you know, and there's 8 billion other people walking around. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, it's like I always have that thought, you know, but it is such a beautiful thing because it's like, yeah, like these two people,
Yeah.
like, you know, they
Because
rock.
I feel like sometimes without that, the support system, you're like,
Yeah,
you feel like you're by yourself.
absolutely.
Because sometimes you feel like that. Anything you do, you feel like you're by yourself. Because sometimes it takes like things for you to, but you got to figure things out yourself. But
Absolutely.
for them to see you like actually push it, because a lot of people, they're all talk. Everybody, you know, everybody can say they want to start a podcast. Everybody wants to rap, start a barber shop, but nobody really puts in the work. You know what I mean? Looking into finance and getting a place and all of that, like actually putting in the work
The
to
legwork,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah. The things that matter, like, you know, the things
Because
that,
nobody wants to put in the work. They would rather go the easy route and be like, nah,
oh yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
They want it already ready. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that's just society now in
And
general.
who do they blame? They blame the parents going, oh, yeah, it came down from the family. Like, I didn't get nothing. Like,
Huh?
because other kids get that. But
Yeah.
we don't get that.
Well, and then we live in a microwave society, bro. Everybody wants everything right now, you
Yeah.
know. And if they don't, and if it's not right now and not in that moment, then you know they don't want it. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, you know, it takes time. I was talking to my homegirl yesterday, and she's like, "Yo, I got 3 years left of school, like da 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 da." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna fly by," and she was like, "I hope so. Like, I feel like it's so far away."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, well, what about when you weren't in school 2 years ago?" And now you a year into that school. You know what I'm saying? Like going into the second year of that school. So realistically, it's only going to be 2 years. I was like, so think about it. You know, when you were sitting on that couch and thinking about going to school, that was already 2 years ago. You see how fast that flew
Yeah,
by?
it goes by. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's like, man, listen, if you sit down and you think you waiting for the perfect, there is no perfect time. We talked about this. There is
Yeah.
no perfect time. But if you sit around and wait forever, it'll always be the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you have to say to people that like feel like, when is the right time? Is there a right time?
No, I don't think there is a right time. I don't think there's a right time to do anything. I really don't. When people say like, "Oh yeah, no, it's time." Yes, it's time in a sense. It's time to do it right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't think there's a right time. I think there's right now. I don't think there's a
Yeah.
right time. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, if there's something you want to do, you're either gonna do it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're either going to do it or you don't. And when you do it, it'll be time.
Do you feel like people, they hold themselves back because they feel like they might do it wrong?
I think it depends on the
Because a lot of people feel like,
situation.
oh, I might do it wrong, or
Yeah.
people might judge me. Like, how do you get over that? Like, people always feel like, oh, somebody's gonna say, yeah, I might be doing it wrong, or
Yeah, I mean, if you're worried about what
other people.
other people think, man, you might as well pack it up.
Yeah.
You know, pack it up. Whatever you're doing.
But I
pack it
feel
up.
like a lot of people in general feel that way. Like,
Oh
what
yeah.
other people think.
Oh, a majority of people do. A majority of people do. That's why you got, I mean, if we were to go pick 20 people off the street right now, you know what I'm saying? Just random people. I guarantee you 18 or 19 of them are going to be workers. And then maybe one business owner. You know what I'm saying? And that one
Yeah.
person was the person who was like, yeah, fuck all that. I'm going to do this shit myself. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, it's also the way society was built. Society was built for us to be workers. You know what I mean? I always think about the clock being round. You know what I mean? Like it's round for a reason because they want you to look at it coming back around. And so that
Yeah.
way you do the same thing every day. It's like, all right, well, I know I got to be up at 8:00. And now you're watching the clock go around just the same way the earth spins. And then boom, back 8:00, I got to go to work. You know, it's like, and if you watch that clock just go around and you know you do the same things every day at the same times, that's what it's always going to be. You know, and then they give you 2 days to break it up just to make you feel like the work that you're doing is worth it. You know, but this shit is all set up, bro. You know, so it's like you got to break the system, you got to break the mold. And you got to go after the things you want in life. And you can't be worried about what other people say, because if you're worried about what other people say, then you might as well do nothing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like starting your own business, like what advice can you give for people that like want to break that and start their own business?
I would say, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a plan, set goals.
Some money.
Make sure you stack a little paper, because it might be slow at first.
Mm-hmm.
It might be slow at first. So just proper planning for everything. That's another thing that I think that people don't take serious enough, is that things take proper planning. Like, sometimes people just want to go on a whim. Like, we just gonna do this. Like, and sometimes that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Like
sometimes
literally, financial literacy for real.
Yeah, sometimes I love that. You know what I mean? I love that. Like, oh, all right, yeah, we just gonna pop off. But, realistically, you gotta have money. You gotta have a plan. You gotta set goals, milestones. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you want to do in year 1, year 2, if you make it that far. You know what I mean? And then what you're gonna do to continue to elevate what it is that you're doing past the point of success. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to keep elevating. What are you gonna keep doing to bring people into whatever you're doing? You know what I'm saying? And continuing to make it be something bigger, and until it turns into what, maybe a corporation, or you build a fucking conglomerate if you're lucky enough. You know what I mean? But that's what it all is proper planning. You know what I mean? And you do have to have patience, and you got to be willing to play the long game. I think people, like I said, it's a microwave society. Everybody wants everything right now, but it's the long game. The people who play the long game are the people who are successful. Those are the people who are rich. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who see massive success. It's one thing at a time. It's like, all right, boom. I started here, and now I did this thing. Boom. And I did that for a couple years. Now that's successful. I ain't got to worry about that. Boom. So now I can step on to the next thing. You know what I mean? And then it's got to be baby steps. It's got to be little thing after little thing after little thing. You know what I'm saying? That gradually becomes a big thing. I just talked about that on, my Instagram the other day, that everybody thinks that, that they got to do everything right now. You don't have to do everything right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, listen, there's a difference between right now and the right time. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to do it. And if you're ready for it, do it right now.
Yeah.
Period. But then after that point, if you're continuing to build it, have a plan. Make sure it's good. You know what I'm saying? And continue to go on, and you really gotta put forth, a lot of thought in the shit, man. People ain't thinking no more,
And I feel like consistency plays like a big key factor, right?
Consistency is key. It's still the key. I mean,
almost like your motivated culture, same thing, right?
Consistency
You
is
have to.
the key. It is the key to everything in life, bro. Like everything. If you are not consistent in anything that you do, even if even what, like,
you can be the best at whatever you do.
Or relationship, bro. Like, if you're not consistent, in the beginning,
What's the point?
In the beginning, you were whining and dining, you doing this, you doing that, because you want to impress the female. You know what I'm saying? And then a couple years into the relationship, now you're not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you consistently dropped off.
You got too comfortable.
You got too comfortable. And she, you know what I mean? And then she's gonna start to notice that. You know what I mean? And then she's. Now we're not doing those things, and now she's not happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with anything in life, a business, you were consistently grinding, and then you started taking days off. And then, you start.
I don't think people look at it that way, or men don't look at it that way.
Yeah, you started taking days off. You're not going to work like you used to. You're not putting in that time. Trust me, people notice. You know what I mean? So it's like with anything in life, bro, you got to be consistent. You're getting you get a haircut every week. You get a haircut every week. You look clean every time somebody see you. Now you get them every 2 weeks. You get them every 3 weeks. And then people saying like, "Oh, damn, he falling off. He ain't looking like he used to."
Once
you
a
feel
month.
me? Now they think
Every 2 months.
Yeah, now they thinking you fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, he going through something. Realistically, you just might not just be getting haircuts as often. You know, but perception is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I think consistency is key, and you got to move accordingly.
Yeah, you think image, like in general, plays like a big factor of like how people like look up to you?
Um, I think it plays a part. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah, I think it plays a
because
part.
like some people they don't care, but I guess it depends on
Yeah, I
what it
don't.
is,
I'm
right?
not one of those people that think image is everything. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe in always looking the part. You know what I'm saying? Like you never gonna catch me slipping. I get a haircut every week.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sharp every time you see me. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going, if like if there's a to do, like you better believe I got a fit on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like period. If
You ever get those compliments? Like, not to say like I get compliments like that, but when people are like, "Oh, it looks like you do something," like it
oh yeah,
looks like you're
absolutely,
somebody,
absolutely, yeah,
right?
get it all the time.
Without you like even showing, they don't even know what you do.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, I don't know.
your
No, I
your
know exactly
aura,
what you
right?
mean. No
When you
cocky
show
shit
up,
or
people
nothing.
are
Yeah.
like, "Yo, shoot,
It's your aura,
you must
bro.
do
Yeah,
something."
it's your aura,
And
bro.
I'm like,
Like,
"Nah,
yeah.
I'm just me."
And you gotta move in your aura. You know what I'm saying? You gotta move in
It's like
it.
when you walk in a room, they just
Yeah, the room
you're
shifts.
somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the room shifts. You know what I mean? And like, yo, you wanna, and that's why I say, like,
without even being
that's why
cocky.
you always gotta be on your P's and Q's. That's why I stay with a haircut. That's why I make sure that I always look clean. That's why I make sure, my outfit, my if I'm in a space,
Yeah,
that where, looking the part is important, you better believe I'm gonna exceed that expectation. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because how people view you is important. You know what I mean? How people see you is important.
And what they say, you when you look good, you feel good.
And when you look good, you feel good, and then you're exuding that, that confidence, and it's radiating into the space. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody's shifting, like, yo, who that?
Yeah,
It's like, yo,
without even you speaking.
yeah, yeah, and you got that glow. You know what I mean? And like, people tell you like, oh, you glowing. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I see it. You know what I mean? So then people can see that. When people say that, oh, you got a glow.
Yeah,
You ever thought about that? Like you're not actually glowing.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But in our minds and our eyes, like you can see somebody who's in a space that is, very good for them to be in. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I mean,
Like what they're doing and everything, right?
oh, exactly, exactly. And
But it's weird though. It's like, how do they see it without them knowing?
because it's vibrations, bro.
Yeah.
It's vibrations.
I mean, I don't mean to bring this up, but the other day I was at the gym and some dude was like, "Yo, who are you?" And I was like, "Nobody." He was like, "I was like Davidson." He was like, "Nah." He was like, "It seems like you're somebody. Like I don't know who you are, but."
That's the highest compliment, bro. That's
And
one
I'm
of the
like,
highest
"Oh, I
compliments you could
appreciate it,"
get.
but I was like, "I'm Davidson, by the way." He was like,
Yeah.
"It just seems like you're somebody." I'm like, I didn't know what that meant, but
Yeah.
maybe he felt something I didn't know.
That's a great compliment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the highest compliments you can get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because you were giving off that vibration, that energy, you know what I
Maybe
mean?
just the way you carry yourself, maybe the way you dress. I don't know.
Yeah. And we're all connected, bro, through energy, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some people more than others, because some people like actually look into it, read into it, understand it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some people don't even think about that shit at all, But
Some people don't think.
yeah, some people don't think, but
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I truly do believe in, all that. I believe in signs, astrology. I believe in, the stars, and I believe in,
Yeah.
energy, waves, vibrations,
You believe in like horoscopes?
yeah. I believe in horoscopes to an extent.
Me too.
Yeah, because it depends.
Because people are like, "Yo, did you see your horoscope?" I'm like, "Nah, what are you talking about?"
Well, the thing is with the horoscopes is like, all right, so boom, you could go online or you got an app on your phone and it
Yep.
could give you a horoscope, and then you can go read a newspaper and they got the daily horoscope in it, and both of those horoscopes are different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
I think it also depends on who's interpreting it, who's writing it, da 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 da. So, I don't get too deep into the horoscopes, but I do believe in, the energy of signs, and I do believe like, people are what they are. Like, I'm an Aquarius 1000%. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whenever people ask me what I am, they be like, "Yeah, I knew that. I knew you was." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because we're confident, strong minded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People. You know what I'm saying? And so and I know I'm not. You know what I mean?
So if I'm a Cancer, like, can you see that or not?
I could see how you're a Cancer. Yeah,
Like, how do you see that?
because you're very like you're. It's like empathy. Like you're empathetic. Like I could feel that you're like a very I don't want to say a soft person,
Yeah.
but I mean soft in the sense that you're in tune with
Like a good soft, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're in tune with.
I'm about to
yourself.
fight somebody.
Well, yo, cancers are like that. Cancers are very. They feel a lot. You know what I'm saying? They feel deeply. You know what I'm saying? And they need certain things. You know, I've been with a couple cancers. My dad is a cancer too. So,
Is he?
yeah, exactly. So, like, I know how cancers are. Cancers and Aquarius kind of clash a little bit. Like,
Oh shit, they clash.
yeah, because yeah.
That shit don't work.
Yeah, it don't work. It don't work. But yo, my mom in Aquarius, my dad in Cancer. It worked for them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, cancers for me don't work.
Oh wow.
Love them though. I love them to death because they're great people. Like they really are great people. They will go to the ends of earth for you. You know what I'm saying? And they will love you unconventionally until they don't. You know what I'm saying? But they are very deep people who love hard and love strong, and they feel deeply, and they need attention.
Yeah.
Like good attention. No, I'm not saying they're begging for it, but they need attention. You know what I'm saying? And they need to feel love. They need like an approval. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, how your wife
A better understanding.
a better understanding. You know how you said your wife. When she told you today, like, yo, I'm proud of you. You know how that made you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you needed that. You said you needed that. You know what I mean?
As much as you feel like, oh, it's whatever, but you're like,
Yeah.
I actually needed that. Like
you needed
today.
that. Yeah. Cancers are like that. You know what I'm saying? And I rock with shout out to cancers, man. Cancers are they, just
Cancer
loving
season.
people. Yeah. But yeah, I do believe in all that though. I do.
Okay, we're gonna end the show, but let the viewers know where they can find you.
Yeah, you could find me at My Faded Life on Instagram. That's my, basically like my everyday life and barber page. You could find me at Motivated Culture, which is my motivational page where I post my quotes and affirmations, reels, motivational reels, and, all that type of good stuff just to give you that boost that you need. At Culture Creative Studio is where my shop. And yeah, man, I got so many Instagram handles, but they're all the same across all things. TikTok, everything. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, it's all the same handle. You know what I mean? You could find me at that same handle on any of those platforms. Yeah, and then, if you want to check out my music, you search Al-Fatir with a hyphen, AL-FATIR. And, I'm on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever else they got. I'm on all of them. So, you could check me at any one of those places. I'm out here.
All right, bro. Yeah, fans, make sure you subscribe and like. The link will be on the bottom of the page. See you later. Peace out.
Yeah, my guy. Appreciate you, brother. You already know.
I didn't even think about that, like on camera.
Nah, I didn't think about it until right now. Like when I saw the pictures, I was like, "Damn, yo, my whole leg out."
You looking crazy, like you got threes on, three inseams.
Yeah. I mean, when you sit down, they're gonna ride up anyway. But nigga, I had my shit was just looking crazy just now. I was like, yo, damn, nigga had all the thighs out, nigga.
Yeah, I said the same thing when I was watching. I was like, yeah, that shit look crazy. It just goes higher.
Yeah. I was just like, damn,
You got
nigga.
some fucking boxers on.
Yeah. That's what it really looked like. Nigga had swim trunks on. It's just some Speedos.
Oh.